Hello, everyone, and welcome to
Balance, baby.
The podcast designed to help you consistently show up as the best version of yourself. My name is Harkeran, and I'll be your host. I'll be here every week sharing stories and teaching you techniques to prioritize the only thing we have any control over in this world: ourselves. This past weekend, I attended an event and got to meet so many like-minded people. I was speaking with a few of the other attendees when we got onto the topic of meditation practices. One of the women said that she's been trying to get into a 15-minute morning meditation practice, but she's been struggling because it's so much easier to press snooze. How many of us can relate to that? I started to tell her about my own meditation journey and how long it's taken me to get into a consistent practice. I also offered her a different perspective. First, her focus should be on making meditation convenient for herself. So, although it is beneficial to meditate first thing in the morning, and although her intention is to meditate first thing in the morning, it might be easier to incorporate meditation later in her day just to get started. So, for example, if she feels the need to snooze in the morning, maybe she can fit her meditation in around 9 or 10 a.m. when she takes a break for coffee. Or maybe she can do it at the end of her day if she feels that's better suited with her schedule. The point is, you need to start by making the habit convenient for you. Then, once you start experiencing the benefits and you start enjoying doing it, you will naturally find ways to fit the new habit into your daily routine. You will naturally start waking up 15 minutes earlier because you want to meditate, not because you're trying to force yourself to. And this works for all habits, not just meditation. Start by making it convenient for you. Then become consistent at it. And then naturally, you will begin prioritizing it. When we focus on enjoying the habits we are trying to build, and when we focus on making it convenient for us, we allow more space for consistency and gradual progress. Aristotle has a famous quote that says, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This quote reminds us that our daily actions and behaviors define who we are and what we become. It reminds us that greatness is not the result of a single heroic effort, but instead, a combination of small, repeated actions performed with dedication and intention. Making your habits convenient and giving yourself flexibility is often the key to getting started and staying consistent. Consistency can be defined as the steady, reliable repetition of actions or behaviors over time. In personal development, consistency is like the glue that holds everything together. It's the daily commitment to showing up, putting in the work, and making progress, even when it's hard or we don't feel like it. Imagine you have a goal, whether it's advancing in your career, getting healthier, or learning a new skill. Consistency is what takes that goal from a dream to a reality. It's about making small, manageable steps towards your goal every day, whether you feel motivated or not. It's about showing up even when it's tough and trusting that your efforts will pay off in the long run. Consistency helps you build trust with yourself and with others, and is the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving your goals. It's about making a commitment to yourself and your dreams, and then following through with action, day in and day out. When we embark on our personal growth journey, there is usually a significant gap between our current self and our ideal self. We might discourage ourselves by trying to embody our ideal self and not quite being able to. So think about the woman I met this weekend. If she kept trying to meditate in the morning and she stayed focused on that and she kept failing, she might never get the benefits of meditation. She might never adopt that habit, no matter how good it feels when she does do it. But by adding the concept of convenience into her habit building, she now has more flexibility and is able to learn to trust herself by meditating when it's convenient for her. By showing up for herself, she's building trust and self-discipline, and eventually, I'm very sure that she will begin loving meditation and she will begin prioritizing meditation. But to get started, she needs to start when it's convenient for her. Small, daily actions may seem insignificant on their own, but when they compound over time, they can lead to remarkable results. Through consistent effort, you will begin to make gradual progress towards your ideal self. Too often, we approach personal growth with the mindset of achieving a specific goal or reaching a certain milestone in life. I encourage you to reframe your mindset and embrace the idea that our personal growth journey is for life. There is no rush, there's no deadline, and there's no finish line. It's about the journey, the process, and the continuous evolution of becoming the best version of ourselves. My approach to consistency completely changed when I was introduced to the concept of no 0 days. If you haven't heard of this before, the concept of no 0 days revolves around the idea of consistency and small progress. Essentially, you're committing to putting in consistent effort towards your personal development, no matter how small. As someone who is super free-spirited, I always thought I preferred to have flexibility in my days. But it turns out I actually thrive when I'm following a routine. I change my routines as I see fit, and often with a change of the seasons. For example, in the winter, the days are shorter, so I may not have enough time to fit in both a workout and a walk before the sun goes down. And in the summer, it's unlikely that I would have a bedtime routine starting at 9 p.m. if the sun's still out. My routines also change with my priorities. Sometimes I'm prioritizing my fitness, other times my career, and currently I'm prioritizing staying aligned with my highest self because I finally understand that by being aligned with my higher self, everything else will work itself out. The way I track my habits has evolved over time as well. I used to have a task for meditation, another for affirmations, another for energy cleansing, another for walking my dog, another for working out, etc., etc. It made me feel productive to have these lists, but it also made me feel completely defeated if I couldn't check everything off of my list. I would be so strict with myself for no reason. Instead of acknowledging a walk as a workout, I would only count gym workouts as a workout. So silly, I know. Currently, I have about 7 daily tasks that I track on a habit tracking app, and I'm going to break them down for you here in no particular order. Nutrition. This one includes macro tracking, taking my vitamins, and hitting my water intake goals. Then we have exercise. This can be gym, Pilates, or a walk. Usually I do at least 2 of these, but I'm happy if I do at least 1. Next is spiritual self-care. This can be anything from my toolbox, basically everything I taught you in Season 1 and a lot of what I'm about to teach you in Season 2. whatever I'm feeling up for. So maybe that's journaling, EFT tapping, reciting affirmations, energy cleansing, or a rampage of appreciation. Next, I have meditation. So some people might loop this in with spiritual self-care, but I like to keep it as its own separate habit because it's kind of like a non-negotiable for me. Next, I have passion project. So that's spending a minimum of 30 minutes a day working on something I'm passionate about, like this podcast. Then I have skincare, which is pretty self-explanatory. This includes oil cleansing, gua sha, face masks, serums, body scrubs, or whatever else I think my skin might need that day. And lastly is do something for mom. This is a habit I started recently, and I started it with the intention of selfless service for someone in my life. By adding this into my routine, I get the opportunity to do something kind for someone I love every day. It keeps my vibrations high and allows me to show my appreciation. These habits are personal to me and relate to my current goals. Some days I complete 100% of my tasks, and other days I might complete less than 30%. But the important thing is that I never let myself hit 0%. By prioritizing continuity over perfection, I'm using a system that supports my goals while allowing for the natural fluctuations of daily life. Instead of being rigid with my routine, I focus on maintaining momentum. This mindset shift from all or nothing thinking to a more forgiving and sustainable approach is the key to long-term success. Even on days when I accomplish less than I'd hoped for, the fact that I've taken steps towards my goals is something I can be proud of. Progress is not about perfection, but about consistent effort and resilience in the face of challenges. And never giving up. The difference between you and someone who is living their dream life is that they never gave up. By adopting a mindset of no 0 days, you commit to taking at least one small step, no matter how minor, towards your goals each day. This approach, rooted in continuous improvement, plays a major role in productivity and personal development. It emphasizes that every day should be valued and utilized for personal growth and advancement. So, how do you get started? The initial step in adopting the no 0 days philosophy involves a mental shift towards recognizing the value of each day. Acknowledge that even the smallest efforts contribute to progress and are crucial in the grand scheme of personal development. Then, establish clear objectives. Define specific, actionable goals that will align with your long-term visions. Next, implement and track the daily habits you've chosen to help you reach your goals. Be sure to celebrate your consistency along the way. And remember to give yourself grace if you do happen to have a 0 day. Don't be so hard on yourself that you derail your progress and discourage yourself from continuing. Maybe you missed your workout today. The best thing you can do is to try not to let it happen again tomorrow. Consistency is the key. Striving for consistency undoubtedly has its challenges, and one of the most significant obstacles is often perfectionism. The pursuit of perfection can leave us feeling overwhelmed and paralyzed. So, it's important to shift our focus from perfection to progress. Embracing the concept of imperfect progress reminds us that even the smallest steps forward are valuable and bring us closer to our goals. By acknowledging that growth is a journey filled with ups and downs, we can release the pressure of perfection and allow ourselves to celebrate each milestone along the way. Starting small is another key strategy for overcoming the challenges of consistency. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new goal and habit, only to become overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks we've set out for ourselves. By breaking our goals down into manageable steps and focusing on one thing at a time, we can avoid feeling overwhelmed and increase our chances of success. Taking incremental steps allows us to build momentum gradually, making it easier to stay consistent over the long term. Unexpected life events are inevitable, and learning to stay flexible is essential for maintaining consistency. Whether it's a sudden change in schedule or a last-minute obligation, being adaptable allows us to adjust our plans and continue making progress towards our goals. Instead of letting setbacks derail our efforts, we can find alternative ways to stay on track, such as completing our habits at different times or in a different setting. By remaining adaptable and resilient in the face of challenges, we can overcome the obstacles to consistency. Learning to embrace consistency in our daily lives has so many benefits. By committing to showing up and putting in effort every day, we open doors to personal growth and self-discovery. Through this consistent effort, we develop new skills, gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, and become better versions of ourselves over time. Consistency can also lead to mastery, the feeling of becoming really good at something we're passionate about. This sense of mastery boosts our confidence and motivates us to continue improving. Finally, consistency brings a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Achieving goals, whether big or small, through consistent effort leaves us feeling proud of our accomplishments and reinforces our belief in ourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in to my 4th episode of Season 2. The importance of mindset and attitude in fostering consistency cannot be overstated. Having the right mindset sets the stage for success by influencing how we approach challenges and setbacks. It's like having a mental roadmap that guides our actions and decisions towards our goals. A positive attitude fuels self-discipline, helping us stay focused and committed to our routines and habits, even when faced with distractions or temptations. It's about making a conscious choice to prioritize our long-term goals over short-term gratification. Additionally, perseverance is key to maintaining consistency. It's the determination to keep going, even when things get tough or progress seems slow. By adopting a growth mindset and viewing setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, we cultivate resilience and persistence in the face of adversity. Finally, positive reinforcement plays a crucial role in sustaining consistency. Celebrating small victories and acknowledging progress, no matter how small, boosts our motivation and reinforces our commitment to our goals. Give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. Remind yourself that your efforts are paying off, and encourage yourself to keep going. In essence, embracing consistency lays the groundwork for a fulfilling and meaningful life. By committing to showing up consistently, we open ourselves up to growth, mastery, resilience, and fulfillment, making it all worthwhile in the end. If you're finding value in this podcast, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends and family. I'll be back next Wednesday for episode 5. Together here, we're creating a community of beautiful souls ready to uplift each other, ready to experience all the joy that this life has to offer us. And don't forget, life is all about balance, baby.
Balance.